Hey YouTubers, so it's the start of day 7. I'm working on grinding out, look at all this pitting. So I'm working on grinding out all the rust off of this panel. The interior is nearly completed. I just have to work on all this inside here, around where the headlight goes. But other than that, it's pretty much done. And then the exterior still needs a lot of work. So I'm gonna be grinding out rust today, putting in patches. I was worried it was gonna rain. According to all the weather forecasts, they said it was gonna rain, but again, they lied. So it's a nice day out today. So that's actually good for me because I can actually start doing some welding out here. I mean, I built this cover, you know, we had a problem with the last time it poured. It actually started sagging in between these little squares. So I put in some plastic sheets in there to kind of like give it some extra support. So hopefully the rain will just kind of roll off. You know, there wasn't enough of a pitch on it. You know, that it's a little bit higher there, but the pitch isn't extreme enough, so the rain was kind of just sitting. But hopefully this works if it does start raining. So far, I got my fingers crossed that it's not going to rain. It's super hot today. It's hot and humid, so I feel like it's going to rain maybe eventually. But right now, no rain, and I'm still in the cooler garage here working on this. So I'm going to patch this up and then cut out the rest of that and create my other patches. So that's day 7. I'm leaving, you know, within a week. All right, so I ground out the body panel, all the rust spots on the exterior of it. You can see there's quite a few. There's a lot of pitting going on here. And what I did was I applied Fast Etch. Right, so it's a rust remover. What it does is it sort of neutralizes the rust and converts it into like an inert black material. And so I applied that everywhere, and it leaves a zinc phosphate coating on it, so it kind of prevents it from flash rusting again. So I'm going to leave that for now while I decide how I'm going to create the panels, the patch panels. I mean, there's so much pitting going on here that I don't know if I'll ever get to the bottom of it. I'm going to try grinding this out more and try to get it to, see how the smooth part, try to get it flush with the smooth part, and then as much as possible. But right now the Fast Etch should work. I mean, supposedly it stops the rust, and you know, you can then just paint over that surface. But so the exterior here is pretty much done. Oh, I still have to do these. Yeah, it's not done. But I've been doing to start the interior as well. I mean, I've done some of it. I've applied Fast Etch to that as well. So you can see where it rusted through in a lot of spots. And I still have to grind out some more and create my patch panels. So hopefully by the end of today I'll have this completed and all welded in and done. You know, I'd really like to get this, at least this one panel finished. Now I'm sure it'd probably make a lot more sense just to buy a new panel, but that kind of goes against the whole philosophy of a do-it-yourself budget build. So I'm gonna end up patching all these and trying to restore it, you know, using my own skill, and you know, it's practice for me as well. It's a hobby, you know. I do enjoy restoring them. I'm not doing it to make a quick buck, or I'm not doing it as a career. You know, I'm just doing it because, you know, I like buying these old trucks and you know, getting them looking good again. All right, so I already ground out all the rust, applied the fast etch, and you can see there's like a kind of a hazy coating on there, and what that is that's like actually a zinc coating over the metal. So now what I'm gonna do is I put a very small cutoff wheel on that grinder, and what I'm gonna do is clean this up and make a clean square area, you know what I mean? Have to clean these edges off. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut out a nice even square or a rectangle so I can make my patch. Alright, so I made a small patch and now I'm gonna weld it in, and then after that I'm gonna primer it, and then I'm gonna cover it with short strand fiberglass to seal up any kind of seams and smooth it over, and then cover it again, and it should be good to go for the Monstaliner spraying. So the first weld on this brand new refurbished front quarter panel. I gotta say, I was using, prior to this, I have a Hobart Handler 140 as my welder, and I was using the flux-core that came with the that came with it, and so I ran out of that, and I switched over to Miller flux-core, and you know what? I have to say that it's a much better product, which is kind of weird because apparently Hobart and Miller are the Hobart Handler is actually built by Miller. It's just you know, with a different label on it, but and it's like sort of a cheaper model, you know. But the flux-core that I just purchased, it's actually pretty good, and it actually is working well for making patches on the sheet metal. Like I was having issues with it with the previous flux-core wire that I was using, and the one that I'm using now, it's welding actually much nicer than the other one. So I don't know how much that has to do with the cleaning that I've done. You know, like I actually prepped this pretty well, so that might have something to do with it also. But it seems like it's a much cooler weld, I want to say, in the sense that it's not, you know, you don't really run the risk of burning through, you know, as I did with the other one. So I don't know if there's just less flux in it or something like that. But actually, I'm very happy with it, and I'm going to continue welding all these panels, grinding them down, and then getting it ready for fiberglass and paint. All right, so I got 3 patches already put in. I'm going to leave this one alone. Going to have to make a patch for this one. Probably leave that one alone. I welded in a bunch of little, I still got a hole here, but I've been just using spot welding in, plugging in the little holes here, and then I got to make some patches here, fabricate this, and then work on this more complex part. But it's going well, you know. I'm actually pretty happy with the welder. It's a Hobart Handler 140, and I'm using Miller flux-core wire. So I'm gonna finish this probably tonight. It's starting to rain, so I'm gonna end up trying to finish that quarter panel tonight. And if I get done, because it's going a lot quicker than I anticipated, if I get done with that, then I'll probably start working on these patches. At least cut them out, get them prepped, because now that it's raining, it's going to be dark out, so I'm going to try to do as much work as I can in the garage where it's light and stuff and there's no mosquitoes. But maybe I'll fabricate this. But anyway, so I'm gonna end up working on this all night into the night. I don't care how long it takes me. You know, if I end up finishing at 3 a.m., then it'll be 3 a.m. You know, but at least I'll have this quarter panel done. And I'm actually pretty happy with how it's turning out. You know, the welds aren't perfect, but I'm not a professional. You know, this is just a hobby, and it's something that needs to be done. It needs to be done on the cheap, so that's why I'm doing it instead of paying somebody else thousands of dollars to do it. But yeah, gonna finish up all the patches, and by tomorrow this should be done, and then I can work on, you know, finishing up the rest of this, working on the rocker panels, which is surprisingly pretty solid. So I'll probably just open this up more, grind out, clean it off, and then see what's going on inside there, and then spray it with the internal frame coating and encapsulator, and that'll be done. Then I can start working on these. So I might save these till the end and then just work on this. And what's interesting is everything is a mirror image. So I have rust here, I have rust here, I have rust here. You can see that on the passenger side. Interestingly, I have rust here, I have rust here, I have rust. You know what I mean? So it's all, even the wheel wells, right there is where I got it. And it's the same thing on the other side. Right here I have it. You know what I mean? This rocker panel's in worse shape than the other one, I think. I don't know. I'm gonna probably take the hammer to this one and do a little bit more investigating. But I'll finish the panel tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow morning.